We are in lesson 326, and we are going to mark nonsense words that contain vowel group 6 teams. Now, let me review a vowel group 4 team in order to explain the vowel group 6 team. Vowel group 4 says that two vowels come together and the first vowel says its name, such as AI in the word rain. AI represents the long A sound, A. However, there's another group of vowels where two vowels will come together, form a team, but the first vowel will not represent its long sound. We call that group of vowel teams vowel group 6. So when you encounter two vowels together that have joined together and form a team in a word, and the first vowel does not represent its long sound, then you will underline that team and place a 6 under it. Now, these are some of the vowel group 6 teams right here on this page, and we'll focus on these 6 teams on the words that follow. AU and AW represent the same sound aw. AU represents the sound aw in August. AW represents the sound aw in saw. When the sound aw comes at the end of the word, we will use AW. When the sound aw comes in the middle of the word, at the beginning of the word, we tend to use AU. OI and OY represent the same sound. Oi, as in oil and boy. Again, when you hear the sound oi at the beginning of the word or in the middle of the word, we use OI usually. However, at the end of the word, when you hear the sound oi, you use OY. Finally, we have OO. OO represents two different sounds. The primary sound is oo, as in the word boot. And why do I call it the primary sound? Because it's the sound OO makes most of the time in words. Now, if this were a vowel group 4 team, OO would join together, form a team, and the first O would represent its long sound, but it doesn't. Instead, OO represents the sound oo. Now, the second sound OO represents is the sound When OO represents its second sound, you double underline the OO team to indicate it's making its second sound And there's an easy way to remember the difference. The key word for the first sound for OO is boot. What do you put in a boot? A foot. The OO in foot represents the second sound OO represents. So you either underline it once for the sound oo or twice if it represents the sound and you put a 6 under the OO in either case. Now I'm going to present rows of words to you. These are going to be nonsense words, and I want you to look at each word, mark it, and then pronounce the word. And then, of course, you can check your marking system against the marking that appears in this video. So let's start with the first word. Now, OO is already double underlined because it's a nonsense word, and in order for you to know that I want you to pronounce this word where OO represents its second sound, the only way to do that is to double underline the OO. So basically the word's marked for you here, except you have to associate vowel group what with this word? Vowel group 6. Now, how do you say this word? Fug. Fug. If you had OO underlined once, the OO would represent its sound oo, and the word would be pronounced foog. But because OO is double underlined, you use the second sound for OO as a team, which is fug. All right, let's advance the screen. Now, mark this word. If a word, by the way, is not double underlined, a letter team within a word, then you must assume it's representing its primary sound. That's for the nonsense words, not for the real words. So how would you pronounce this word? Bloob. Bloob. Next word. Again, if it's not double underlined, then assume it represents its first sound. And I'm referencing the OO team. All right, mark this word. Druce, druce. Jupe, jupe. Toop, toop. Row 2. Mooned, mooned. Looped, looped. Noomp, noomp. Now here OO is double underlined, so obviously you want to associate the second sound that OO represents with this word. And that would be pronounced grut, grut. Remember, the first sound for OO is oo, as in the word boot. And what do you put in a boot? A foot. And the foot, the OO represents its second sound, and then use that sound for this word, grut. Next word. Now we're switching teams here. Now we have OY. Mark the word. Voy, voy. Remember, when the sound oi occurs at the end of the word, we use OY. Row 3. Now, let's mark the word and then advance the screen. Sploy, sploy. Zoip, zoip. Here the oi sound is in the middle of the word, so we use OI. All right, OO here is going to represent its second sound, so what sound would that make then? How would we pronounce this word? Swood, swood. Spoog, spoog. Troif, troif. Row 4. Smoom, smoom. Sloon, sloon. Spruip, spruip. Now this word has 6 individual sounds in it. And the word is going to be pronounced scroomp, scroomp. Tuve, tuve. Row 5. Now for the first time we have AW. Mark the word. Ball, ball. When the sound aw comes at the end of the word, we use AW. Mark the word. Cod, cod. When the sound aw comes in the middle or beginning of the word, we use AU. Daw, daw. Fob, fob. Gaw, gaw. Row 6. Foib, foib. Vaw, vaw. Sloy, sloy. Doot, doot. Slop, slop. And this completes marking the words in lesson 326.